Hello everybody and welcome back to Syracuse Aviation. Today we have another airport update for you guys, which is Palm Beach International Airport in the beautiful state of Florida, of course. This is an airport that may or may not be a consistent series to the channel. The problem is that I will be leaving for college soon, so it's going to be very tough to do it consistently. I'm sure I could pre-record some updates, but I'm not a huge fan of that. If I have to, I will, but it probably won't be consistently every month. I could do this bi-monthly. It's small enough that I could probably get away with it. But in the winter months, there's going to be a lot more changes at the airport, so I'm going to want to encompass that all on a more consistent schedule. Also, as you can tell, the setup is not ideal. It's the same situation as I had with Fort Myers the other day, as you might remember if you saw that video. If not, you'll have to check it out. But, terminals are inaccurate. The setup's just not good, so I'm going to want to get some more accurate infrastructure elements, as well as some airlines I'm missing, which includes, let's see if I can remember them all. Alright, Air Canada, Sun Country, Silver, Bahamas Air, there might be one more, and Avelo, of course. So I'm going to want to get all of those before I end up doing this airport more consistently, so hopefully we get some more releases. We'll just have to wait and see. If not, I could continue to do this airport and just wait for them. I'd just rather have them sooner, so. But, at any rate, here we are at the Bravo Concourse. So we're going to go ahead and get started with the Southwest section. Obviously, being during the summertime, you're going to have a lot less flights. That's why it's kind of empty. This whole end is American. I would assume that this gate, which is B14, I would assume maybe that would be filled at some point. United, I only see Newark on the schedule, which I think it's like 4 or 5 times a day in a 737, so that's still pretty good. But no other destinations, not even Chicago O'Hare or Dulles or anything. I would think maybe Houston or Denver. So, but I digress, as per usual. So let's get started with the Southwest section. At gate Bravo 1 this is, with the Southwest 737 MAX 8 in the heart colors. This aircraft is going to be making a flight up to Baltimore today. At Bravo 3 is the Southwest 737-700 in the heart colors. Once again, this aircraft is going to be making a flight up to Atlanta. The other destination I did see for Southwest is Islip in New York, of course, which is on the 737-800. I believe it's once or twice per day. They might flip-flop on the 700 as well, depending on the day or how full the flight is. So it's worth noting, I wanted to include it, but I wanted to get both of these gates filled, and I just didn't see a good way to do that on the current schedule. I'm sure I could have done it somehow, but there we go. Baltimore and Atlanta today. There is also a recent expansion done on this concourse, which is right here, kind of by where Bravo 3 was. So before the expansion, it would have looked something like this. It's a little bit tight, obviously, but there would have been a bridge there. They did a bump out of the terminal, so they basically put a box on it. I don't know what's inside of that, maybe a restaurant or just more gate space or whatever it happens to be. So I'm not sure if they're going to end up putting a jet bridge back in that area, but I'm going to be eager to see how that progresses in the future. Now moving on to our little corner of American Airlines aircraft. At Bravo 9, we have the 737-800 with the logo on the inside of the winglet. This aircraft is going to be making a flight out to Chicago O'Hare today. And next to him, docked up at gate B11, boarding for Philadelphia, is the 737-800 in the One World colors this time. And I already mentioned this earlier when I was digressing, but we have B14, which is currently vacant. And the last American Airlines aircraft for today's update, no, you know what? I changed my mind. Here's what we're going to do. Alright. We're going to bring this guy in. We're going to set him on the corner there. I'll get to him in a minute. We have at B12 the American 737-800 with the logo on the outside and inside of the winglets this time. This aircraft is going to be making a service up to Washington, DCA today. Now, I forgot about Charlotte, which is kind of disrespectful, so I apologize. But I think why I forgot is because B14 is where I would have put it, but I didn't see any aircraft parking at B14, so I didn't want to really be inaccurate, so I kind of just left it out, so I apologize for that. But we're going to have Charlotte in today's update on the PSA Heritage A321. Beautiful, beautiful aircraft today. So we're going to say he's waiting for a gate to open up. I think on the schedule I saw B9 and B11 for Charlotte. Maybe they go to B12 as well sometimes, but I could be wrong. So I guess we'll say he's going to be waiting for a gate to open up, and once it does, he's going to pull in. So we got two specials in today's update. So we got One World and PSA, of course. So looking very nice. All right, next up at Gate B8 is the Allegiant A319 in the new colors. This aircraft is going to be making a flight up to Asheville, North Carolina today, filling in for an A320. That's what I saw on the schedule. And I also saw an A320 up to Pittsburgh. So I believe the only two destinations during the summer are Pittsburgh and Asheville. I could be wrong on that. There might be more. I just didn't see them on the schedule. So now I already made some kind of a reference to this in today's intro for this airport, but I'm going to go ahead and do this anyways. So we have the United 737 MAX 9 in the Evo Blue colors boarding at Gate B6 for a service up to New York's Newark today. And again, just in the hotter months during the summer, a lot less demand to Florida overall. So I'm sure that United could still make some other services work, but I think to compensate, they're just doing a ton of frequencies to Newark, which there is. Looks like five or six daily in the schedule right now. So that's definitely a pretty solid offering for United in terms of not only point-to-point to the New York metro area, but also connections as well. I did forget to mention earlier that Bravo 8 is common use between Allegiant and Novello, so I'm not entirely sure what's going to happen once I get Novello aircraft. I'm probably just going to have one of these, out taxiing or doing what the Charlotte flight is doing, just waiting for a gate. So, but aside from that, the rest of Concourse B is vacant for this time of the year. All right, moving on to Concourse C. This is looking a lot better. This is more what I was anticipating when I was thinking of setting up this airport. This looks a lot better, mostly because of JetBlue, but you got your some other low-cost competition in there as well, Frontier, Spirit, and Breeze, and then of course your Delta section, which I had to do some digging to be able to make this work. I'm not sure if this is typically how it looks, but it is this time, so here we go. Going to start at the end down there with the A321. This shot's a little bit more clear. So here's the A321 currently parked at C1 with service to Atlanta. And at C3 is the 737-900 with service to New York LaGuardia. And we're actually going to jump across to the other side. Usually I don't do this, but I will this time. So at Charlie 2 is the A320 with service to Detroit. And we have the 737-800 at C4 with service to New York JFK. Moving down to our low-cost section now, we have the Frontier A320neo in the Georgia the Painted Bunting livery at Gate C9 with service up to Islip today. So the whole end of the concourse, in essence, this is the head house, is the proper terminology, but probably one of the most jank setups I've ever had. I didn't really have a good piece that I can use to fill in. The terminal actually kind of bumps out and comes around, which is really, really cool looking, I think. I just didn't really have a piece that I could fit in there to represent that, but I set up the jet bridges in the way that they would be in real life, and so I think it turned out pretty good considering this is probably the most jank situation I've ever had with a airport update, but I made it work. So let's see. We just did the Frontier. I'm going to go catch the Spirit A320 with service to Atlantic City at Gate Charlie 6. Next up at Gate Charlie 8 today is the Breeze E195, filling in for an E190 with service up to Raleigh-Durham today. This brings me to a quick little public service announcement, if you will. So I've been noticing a lot of people have been mistaking the E195 for an E190, or a lot of people seem to not even realize that the E195 is a real completely different aircraft from the E190. So if you don't know what it is, essentially it's an E190 with a stretched fuselage to accommodate some extra seating, some extra rows on board. So it's a similar concept to the A319 compared to the A320, if you will. So just a quick little PSA, as I said, it's not a huge deal, I just figured I'd point that out. And now, ladies and gentlemen, for the grand finale, the JetBlue section. I've been looking forward to doing this for the whole update. I love the section. I think it's so cool how you have all the JetBlue A320s that it's not necessarily a small, compared to other airports in Florida and around the country, it is small, but it still has a lot of traffic, and especially for JetBlue, they have tons of flights here, which is really cool to see, lots of destinations. So I just love this part of the concourse, how it just kind of wraps around. You have just a nice tail shot of all the different JetBlue liveries you can see here. Just such a cool little corner. I absolutely love this. So we're going to go ahead and get started. Next to the Breeze E195, I have all of my routes written down, so just give me 1 second. So this is Charlie 10, housing the new Spotlight A320 with sharklets. This aircraft's going to be doing a flight up to New York LaGuardia today. And then we have the old Spotlight with fence tips. This guy is parked at, let's see, Charlie 12 it would be, with service up to White Plains today. And next up at C14 is the Spotlight A320 with sharklets with service to Windsor Locks today. And this is C16 with the JetBlue A220-300 in the Hop's Tail, of course, with service out to Boston. And the final aircraft for not only the JetBlue section or the Charlie Concourse, but the whole airport update is the JetBlue A320 and the new Spotlight tail, once again with sharklets. This aircraft is going to be making a flight up to Providence, Rhode Island. So that'll do it for today's airport update of Palm Beach International Airport. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. This was a lot of fun to put together, very complex in some areas. You know, a lot of shifting of gates when I was setting it up, trying to squeeze in every last aircraft that I could while still, you know, allowing it to be realistic. So definitely the Charlie Concourse was my favorite to do. This was a lot of fun, turned out a lot better, I think. Maybe that's just with all the different tails and different aircraft in here. It's just a lot of fun overall. Bravo Concourse was a lot of fun too. So the whole airport, you know, I really enjoyed doing. Hopefully I can do a consistent series of this on the channel. I was thinking as I was doing Concourse B, I might do it seasonally, thinking that it would be more full, but it might actually be worth doing it in the summer now with how Concourse C looks. This is awesome. So overall, this is a really cool airport. Really like it. Hope you guys do too. Hope you guys enjoyed the airport update. Let me know your thoughts and opinions if you'd like to see this continue on the channel. Again, it would be tough to do it year-round consistently, but I could, you know, maybe do a bi-monthly or something like that to make this work for you guys. So hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please consider liking the video and subscribing to the channel. If you have any questions or comments, go ahead and leave me a comment below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.